Alright, welcome back to my scenario where civilization starts over. We're on the second part of the 3-episode thing that I did. Basically, if you saw the last video, I'm now grouping these episodes into 3 parts each. So there's going to be one part that's going to have 3 episodes, there's another part that's going to have 3 episodes. It's just going to go on until episode 100. Or whenever I end it. But basically in the last episode, we saw the collapse of the Western Empire. That was the main thing that happened. Yeah, now we're going to move on. So, these little nations have tons of ambitions. They want to explore most of Europe. And mainly, Eastern Frisia is going to achieve that goal by going north into Jutland. This peninsula is called Jutland, by the way. And France will go out east. Same with this tiny little nation. They'll go out east. Is there any major cities here? There are a few. Okay. Basically, the French have now basically turned into their own empire. Made up of their own people. They've done very great things. They took down the Western Empire, firstly. So, it was very easy for them to do so. But now they're going to do much more very good advantages. And that is crossing into England. They knew about England for centuries. Actually, not centuries, like 2 centuries. But they've never actually colonized it. Mostly because of the native Western Europeans. The French are actually Western European. They're not actually core descendants of the blue team that live in Crimea. They're actually descendants of the red team. But they're going to be crossing into England. Going up north into Wales. And exploring the Scottish Peninsula. England will be a very important area to the French. And now, at this point, French are becoming more and more imperialist instead of nomadic. So they will have a plan to unite all of Western Europe. Starting with the light green nation, crossing the Elbe River, and pushing north into Holland and Frisia. They're even going to have a brief war with Spain. Which is going to cost them this whole entire region. Now, as you can see, France is very large at this point. And basically, because of the fact that they feel like they're slowly getting pushed farther away from the Diamond Alliance, they're going to leave the Diamond Alliance. And the Star Alliance is only going to be remained to East Frisia and Spain. And what they're going to do is they're going to try their very hardest to make sure France doesn't conquer them. Well, doesn't conquer them completely. they're very close to doing that. They're also threatening the Diamond Alliance a ton because they have major claims over in Italy. This is all their claims. Hold on, let me just show all of their claims. This is all their claims. This is what they would have looked like. So, well, we saved the world. We saved the world, guys. Anyway. Yeah, they have really threatened the Diamond Alliance. And the Diamond Alliance includes the Eastern Empire. But the French actually have better battle planning than the Eastern Empire itself. So they're like, don't do this. Don't do this. You're going to destroy us. You're going to become the Western Empire again. You don't want to be the Western Empire. You know how imperialist the Western Empire was. And they're just like, nah, I'm going to strengthen these claims even more. And I'm also going to claim Corsica, Sardinia, and the Mallorca Islands. And I'm going to expand further west. And they're like, no, you can't do that. No. I don't want you disrupting our territory. Who's gonna stop me? Us, says the Diamond Alliance. France is just like, well, I'm stronger than the Diamond Alliance. Besides, Spain is not even in your faction. You're not going to be able to do anything. And like the Diamond Alliance is like, we're gonna do something about this. If you stop enforcing your claims. And then multiple skirmishes happen right here on this border. And then now the Diamond Alliance is like, we're going to do it. We're going to do it if you get out of Spain. We're going to do it if you stop having skirmishes with Spain. And they're just like, I'm not listening. And the Diamond Alliance is just like, alright, we're going to declare war on you if you stop enforcing your claims. And France just ignores them, saying that the Diamond Alliance isn't as strong as they think they are, even with the literal Eastern Empire in charge. France is just threatening every single thing. And there's the usual skirmish right here. but it goes wrong. It goes wrong. It goes wrong than usually expected. It turns into a full-scale battle. And then, soon, it becomes a literal war between the two. And then everyone is like, no, this can't be. This can't be. Also, I should probably change the centuries because, like, minus I think that's reasonable, right? Is that reasonable? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And now the Diamond Alliance is just like, no, France, you can't just invade Spain. You already invaded Spain like a minute ago. You can't do this. Besides, you already have so many claims over us. And then they declare war on West Frisia. Not West Frisia, East Frisia. And then they invade Italy. And that's the final straw. They've crossed the line. Italy is in the Diamond Alliance. France is now at war with the Diamond Alliance and the Eastern Empire. They were once friends, but now they're total enemies. Wow. Beautiful. Anyways, they're going to be invading Spain even more. And then the entire nation gets occupied. Except Mallorca, Sardinia, and yeah, obviously. The invasion of Italy goes very well. For the French. They go south. They capture the main city. They even go into Illyria a bit. They occupy parts of the Eastern Empire. And at this point, they've actually gained more than what they've claimed earlier. Because, well, they now are at war with Illyria. Kind of have to. Now with Italy surrendered, it's now French and the Eastern Empire. The two most powerful nations in history right now. They fought together against the Western Empire. But now, because of tyrant imperialism, they are now fighting with themselves. Fighting stops. And then, oddly, a voice that everyone can hear goes from above. If you do this, it will be over. Please, do not, and I mean, do not do this. They don't understand what it means, but they feel it. They feel like they're trying to tell something that's important. So they stop fighting. They stop and think. What's really the point in this? What's the point in war? What's the point in all this? Come on, we can't let the world end like this. But what if it doesn't end like this and everything turns out happy in the end? It won't. They'll just explode themselves to death. They don't even know how to use gunpowder. Please, be reasonable. I'm afraid the human race will just die out in the end. The Eastern Empire won't even survive. But what if they do? Just smaller. Listen, man, I've seen everything. I am immortal, and you know that. I am immortal. I am immortal. So, the first thing that will happen is going to be the invasion. The first thing that will happen is going to be the invasion of Sicily, as the Norman Empire is going to kind of start to, like, they're just going to have little tiny advances each time, and it's going to culminate into one giant advance, because nothing seems to be happening on the front lines. Like, that's the most that's going to happen. Just tiny little advances. And then Crete. Then the Dodecanese. Then Lesbos. Then these islands. Then this bay. This is actually called Gallipoli because I don't know. I don't know what it's called. But because of pure pressure, not peer pressure, but pure pressure, and the fact that they're doomed to lose. I mean, like, look at this. The Eastern Empire is going to surrender. But the thing is, this is not going to cause, like, an actual peace deal between the two, because both nations are so tired from this whole thing. They're both just going to collapse. And these are all the nations that are going to collapse, that are going to form out of this collapsing. Starting over here, we have a Breton country. This Breton country, it was core territory of Normandy for so long, but because of the fact that basically nothing is, like, actually, like, you could just take whatever you want now, they decided, you know what, let's make our own country. We're kind of tired of Norman rule. Nextly, we have this nation around Bordeaux. It's pink. I can't exactly see. Hold on. It's in my settings. What? Never mind. Yeah. So, yeah, so basically these two nations, they now exist. And then next, we're going to see this nation around Asturias. It's like the Basque. I don't know. And then this nation, sure, a white nation works. That's not going to cause confusion at all. Actually, that's probably, yeah, that's yeah. Also, we're going to see someone return. It's probably not going to be who you'd expect. But it's definitely going to be someone that's, like, really old. Definitely the oldest nation. Yeah, just letting you know. What is a color that works good? Oh, blue. Yes, blue. Blue! let's see major cities. How is there not a major city for Asturias? I should make a major city for Asturias. Asturias needs its own major city. Major city. People who actually know Wixo, do you guys like major city? Because I like major city. And I think people in the premiere loved major city. So I think major city might be the new Wixo meme. Don't you think? I don't know what I'm doing. Over in England, we're going to see a nation south of the Thames. Going to see a Wales nation. Purple Nation, and North England / Scotland. It's not really Scotland, but you know. Are there any major cities? Actually, there are. Wow. I made major cities for England. Oh yeah, I'm recording this on the 23rd of December. The last video I recorded Alright, welcome back to my scenario where civilization started. That was December 13th. Crazy. Anyways, these are the new Britannic kingdoms. Moving over to Italy, we have a few nations, including the original including the original nation that I made here. It did control this much, I believe, at first. And we're going to have a southern Italy, which is just going to be Naples. That color is way too close to the... Ooh. That color is cool. I should add more variety in the colors. Anyways, there's going to be a Flemish team now. Remember the Flemish team from... There was a Flemish nation, right? But the French conquered them? Like the Normans conquered them? I swear, I don't remember much. Lots of things have happened since then. I don't know. Anyways. Yes, that's actually good. My sneeze helped me. Next, we're going to make like a Hamburg nation. Next, we're going to make like a Hamburg Bremen nation. Next, we're going to make a Paris nation. And dark blue. It's going to be Central France. This nation that runs to the Alps. This nation that is with the Alps. Wait, should I make this the Western Empire? Oh my god, I should make this the Western Empire reborn. I'm stuttering. I'm so excited. All the old empires are actually going to be back. All the original nations are going to be back. Just lay you know, because that's like, yeah. Anyways, remember the Illyrian nation? It's not back. It's merged with Serbia and Albania. What? This Greek nation. By the way, this is not like either side being punished or anything. This is like both nations deciding to surrender and then just giving up most of their government and most of their land. So, like, yeah. Anyways, yes, thank you. The return of the blue team. Nobody clapped. Oh. At least they did something. Anyways, we will end off Europe for the most part with a Romanian nation. Forgot this bit of Germany. Dark blue. I know these two nations are already dark blue, but there's so much blue in Europe, alright? Just imagine blue being a very popular color. You know? Makes sense. Also, we're going to see a Mauritanian nation. Or Moroccan? Is that Moroccan? I don't know. Depends where the capital is. Nextly, we're going to see a Tunisian nation. Tunisian nation. Tunisian nation. I like that. I like that. It's a bit catchy. Nextly, we're going to do something that I don't think a lot of people have done before. Splitting up the Nile River. Some people probably have done this before, but like everybody has just made Egypt like its own nation. Nobody has split up Egypt into two. Nobody has thought of that because it's such a fertile nation and everybody wants it. I don't think that. I think Egypt should be divided like everyone else. Why does everyone get to be divided and not Egypt? Egypt is such a good place to divide. Let's do that. Okay. Where should I put the capital of this nation? Should I put it like near Gaza or like closer to Jerusalem or Gaza? I know it's desert, but it's funny. Bar today, I get a little whoop. This will also be a nation. It's going to be hot pink. And this tiny little nation. Not a lot of people actually know about this tiny little nation. But a cool thing about it just grew. Well, you haven't noticed it. It's been trying to find a way to actually create a civilization without being like nomadic and tribal. So they took the weakened Eastern Empire to their advantage. and took that entire thing. And since there's one singular major city here, they're going to make this their capital. Now, the Eastern Empire is still going to be absolutely gigantic. But oh my god, I forgot capitals. Okay. Blue Nation capital, right here. This nation capital, right here. How all things should be. There's no major cities in Germany. Literally no major cities in Germany. Guess I'm gonna have to make a few. Because lots of people are settling here now, so might as well make a few major cities. And this capital is going to be a major city. As always. And now both empires just collapsed. Just like that. And now, what's going to happen next? Well, a few things. But anyways, let's get on into this episode. So the Jutes, they discovered Sweden a very long time ago. But now, because of the fact that they're well more equipped to the cold, they're going to be expanding further north and moving up to these territories. I should remove this lake. Wait, should I? Hold on. Let me make the Aral Sea smaller. Just a little bit smaller. There we go. And so yeah, people are now going to be settling into this new territory that has just been created. In the central part of Europe, the German country has plans to expand further out east. So what will they do? They'll go further out east. And the Hamburger Nation and not very much, but definitely notable, the Western Empire. They promise that they will never do all of those bad things ever again that caused the absolutely bloody war between them and the Eastern Empire. But again, people are now going to be settling in these new areas and in Hungary as smaller tribes begin forming in those areas. Now, the Bulgars. They've been using the Volga River for a very long time. The Volga River is very important to them. Because of this, they're going to be settling further into the Volga River and into Ukraine, trapping the old Blue Nation. And I realize that there's actually not a lot of settlements here, so let's fix that. Major city, major city, major city, major city, major city, major city. Okay. Oh, also, we're going to have a few more major cities in Arabia, because honestly, there needs to be a few more major cities in Arabia. Nextly, this Blue Nation and Wales are going to go to war. And because the Blue Nation has more population than all the major cities there, it's going to be a problem for Wales. In the fact that Wales only has one major city, and that's the capital. And they only have a few smaller towns. But yes, the blue team has united the region of southern England. Don't worry. This empire will collapse. Bulgar haters. Why do you guys hate these guys? Anyways, because Wales only has the Isle of Man left, the Blue Nation will take the Isle of Man and begin to colonize Ireland. Eventually, they'll explore all of Ireland, eventually settling these areas, and yes, creating a few more major cities, including the Isle of Man. Or Douglas. Do people call it Douglas? British people in the comments, do you call this the Isle of Man or Douglas? Like, I mean, I know Douglas is like a city name, but like Douglas is like the only major city in the Isle of Man, and it's the capital. So, do you say like, oh, I go to Douglas? Like, I don't know. I'm across the Atlantic, so I wouldn't know. Anyways, smaller nation. This nation hasn't really gotten a whole lot of representation lately, but it's now been expanding as of recently. This nation is actually one of the oldest nations in the world. It was actually created out of those 4 travelers that explored the Black Sea. So, fun. So, because the Eastern Empire has troubles expanding into the West, considering the fact that there's literally nobody here, we're going to expand into the East instead. But that's too far. The Eastern Empire is good, but they're not that good. If they locked in, they would have gotten all of this. That's how much they would have gotten. Anyways, there's going to be a few more major cities. Yes, I'm saying major city. If you actually know the Wixop Hiatus Pro, you would know the reference. Spoilers for episode 95, by the way. That's not really much of a spoiler, but it's a funny moment. It's a funny moment, alright? Anyways, Ethiopia. They're going to explore south. And yes, that means they're going to expand south, reaching the edges of the Horn of Africa. They've been kind of an underdog. I mean, they were from the start, but why? Why did I say that? Anyways, Germany. So, Germany is going to invade somebody. But who it is? Well, obviously, it's the Western Empire, of course. They still have all that French roots. So, it's going to make sense that they're going to want to invade the Western Empire. I can't see. Anyways, they're going to cross the Alps, and because of the fact that their capital is very exposed, doesn't really have a whole lot of defenses, they're just going to take it. However, their government flees to this city because they know that they're going to have to cross the harsh Alps, and that's not going to be fun. But after they absolutely crush the Alps, not literally, just figuratively, they go through at lightning speed. Western Empire is just like give up. And so, they're going to be defeated. That's what? That's another capital gun. Rip Western Empire. Yeah. What is the century like? Okay, I think I've decided. Minus 250. I mean, it makes sense, right? You got these big empires, but they're like primordial empires, you know? You get You picking up what I'm putting down? Alright. That's going to be it for this episode. I know the whole thing is going to be a lot shorter than probably hoped, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah, bye.